Let me be completely honest with you right now, because this channel is built on telling you the truth, even when the truth is embarrassing. 3 months ago, I sat right here in this chair and told myself the DJI Neo 2 was a toy, a fun little gimmick for beginners who couldn't afford a real drone. I was certain of it. I had my Mini 5 Pro, my Air 3S, my Mavic 4 Pro, a whole fleet of serious machines. What could a 151-gram pocket drone possibly offer me that I didn't already have? I was wrong, completely, embarrassingly, humiliatingly wrong. And here's the part that's going to make you uncomfortable. I think you might be making the exact same mistake I was. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly whether this drone belongs in your life or whether it absolutely doesn't. And I promise you, the answer is not what you're expecting. The moment everything shifted, it happened on a completely ordinary Tuesday evening. I was heading out for a walk. No agenda, no shoot planned, just a nice sky and that restless feeling you get when the light starts doing something beautiful outside your window. I looked at my bag. Mini 5 Pro, controller, 3 batteries, ND filters, landing pad, the whole professional setup. I started doing the math in my head. Unfold the arms, power everything on, wait for GPS lock, check the airspace, calibrate the compass. By the time all of that was done, that perfect light would be completely gone, and I'd be standing there with expensive gear and nothing to show for it. So instead, I reached past all of it, grabbed the Neo 2, slipped it into my jacket pocket, walked out the door. 2 minutes later, I tossed it into the air with one hand. It beeped, locked on, and just flew. No setup, no checklist, no friction whatsoever. And I started filming a sunset that, frankly, turned out to be one of the most beautiful I'd seen all year. When I got home and pulled the footage, I sat there staring at my screen thinking, this is going in my final edit. Not, this is okay for a toy. Not, good enough for Instagram. Into my final edit. The same edit that was going to feature footage from my Mini 5 Pro and my Air 3S. That was the moment. And that question it planted in my head, the one I couldn't shake afterward, was this: how many moments exactly like that one had I already missed? Because my gear was too much effort to pull out? The honest answer? A lot. Way too many. Stop thinking drone. Change this one word. Here's the single biggest mental shift I want you to make right now, because it changes everything about how you'll use this thing. Stop calling it a drone. Seriously. Every time you call it a drone, your brain slots it into a category with the Mini 5 Pro, the Mavic 4, the Air 3S, gear you planned for, pack carefully, and pull out for serious work. Start calling it an action camera that flies. Read that again. An action camera that flies. Think about how you use a GoPro. You don't schedule a GoPro session. You don't check the weather 3 days in advance for a GoPro. You clip it to your helmet, mount it on your car, hand it to a friend, toss it in the water, and just capture life as it happens. No planning, no friction, just filming. The Neo 2 operates on exactly that same philosophy, except instead of a mount, you throw it into the sky. At 151 grams, it slips into a jacket pocket. There's a built-in front-facing screen that tells you everything you need to know without touching your phone. You don't need a controller. Your hand is the launch pad. It has gesture controls, voice commands. Just say, "Hey fly," and it responds, subject tracking, and automatic flight modes that handle the cinematography so you can just focus on being present in the moment. The moments I've captured with the Neo 2 are moments that never would have made it into my other footage. A friend doing something ridiculous and spontaneous, a 45-second window of perfect cloud formation, a city street at 11 p.m. that just looked cinematic, a road trip pit stop that lasted 10 minutes. None of those moments would have survived the setup time of a traditional drone. The Neo 2 makes sure you never miss them again. And that habit of actually filming instead of deciding whether it's worth getting the gear out is worth more than any spec you'll ever read on a product page. 5 things that genuinely surprised me. Surprise number 1, the wind resistance is legitimately impressive. I expected this thing to get slapped around the moment it hit any real gust. That's what happened with the original Neo. You could see it in the footage, that nervous wobble, the jitter as it fought to hold position. I've got old footage sitting on my hard drive where the original Neo just gives up fighting and drifts. It was frustrating. I assumed the Neo 2 would be the same story with better marketing. It wasn't. The extra 15 grams and the redesigned propeller configuration give this drone a groundedness in the air that feels almost physically impossible for its size. I've flown it in 25 kilometers per hour, gusts along a coastal cliff, and watched it just hold. Not perfectly, it works for it, you can see the corrections happening, but it holds. That difference between the original Neo and the Neo 2 in wind is not subtle. It's the difference between usable footage and unusable footage. Surprise number 2. The dual-axis gimbal is a real upgrade. Put them side by side on an aggressive orbit shot or a fast push-in over water, and you stop seeing two versions of the same drone. You see two fundamentally different drones. The original Neo only had a single-axis mechanical gimbal, meaning it could only stabilize on the tilt axis, leaving the roll axis to be handled by software, which resulted in more digital cropping and visible wobble. The Neo 2 upgraded to a dual-axis mechanical gimbal, adding roll stabilization, which means less reliance on digital correction and wider, smoother footage. The stabilization during fast direction changes is where the gap is most obvious. The original Neo shows that nervous float as software struggles to compensate. The Neo 2 just cuts cleanly and holds it. That upgrade alone is worth talking about. Surprise number 3. The smart flight system actually gets smarter. This one took me the longest to notice, and I'm not sure I would have caught it in a one-week review. After weeks of flying the same routes, a coastal path I like, a park near my apartment, a particular city block I keep going back to, the Neo 2 started anticipating things. It corrects for gusts earlier on routes where it's encountered gusts before. The gimbal starts smoothing transitions before I even feel the turbulence coming. It learned that I like to accelerate aggressively out of corners and adjusted how it tracks my movement. Now, whether that's genuinely machine learning or clever onboard calibration, I honestly can't tell you for certain. What I can tell you is that after 3 months, this drone feels like it knows how I fly. That's an experience you genuinely cannot evaluate in a short review. You have to live with it. Surprise number 4. Gesture controls are actually useful. When I first tried the gesture controls, I was ready to write them off. Raising my hand at a drone and expecting it to start recording felt like a gimmick, the kind of feature that sounds impressive in a press release and never works in practice. I gave it about 4 sessions before I started to see how it actually clicked. Now, for solo shooting, gesture control is one of the most practically useful things about this drone. I can launch, position, trigger recording, and stop it all without ever reaching for a device. As a solo creator, that matters more than I can adequately explain in words. Surprise number 5. Full obstacle avoidance changes. How confidently you fly. This one doesn't get enough attention in short reviews. The original Neo had 0 obstacle avoidance. None. If a branch was in the way, the drone hit the branch. Full stop. The Neo 2 ships with a genuinely impressive safety system, omnidirectional monocular vision sensors, a forward-facing LiDAR sensor, and downward infrared sensing. In practical terms, this means the drone can detect and respond to obstacles in front, behind, to the sides, above, and below. Flying around trees, through narrow gaps, tracking alongside a cyclist in a busy park, the Neo 2 handles scenarios that would have made the original Neo a liability. Forward-facing detection works up to 15 meters at flight speeds of up to 8 meters per second. I have to be honest, it is not perfect. Thin wires and small branches can still slip through undetected, but the difference in confidence between flying a drone with no obstacle sensing and flying one with full omnidirectional coverage is enormous. It changes how close you're willing to fly, how creative you get with your shots, and how much you trust the drone in autonomous tracking modes. For beginners especially, this upgrade alone justifies the Neo 2 over the original. Surprise number 6. The build quality feels unfair for the price. I've bumped this thing into walls, clipped branches during low-altitude orbits, had it land hard on gravel, on a dock, on uneven concrete. Every single time it shook it off and flew again like nothing happened. For a 151-gram drone at this price point, the build quality feels almost aggressive, like DJI was trying to make a point. And here's why that matters beyond the obvious. When gear feels fragile, you fly cautiously. You avoid the interesting shots. You play it safe. When gear feels solid, you try things. You get closer. You take the creative risks that produce the best footage. The Neo 2 makes you a braver pilot, and braver pilots make better videos. The honest truth, real limitations, nobody warns you about. Alright, we need to talk about the things that are genuinely frustrating, because this channel doesn't do hype without honesty, and you deserve the complete picture before you spend your money. Limitation number 1, the battery life gap is real. DJI says 19 minutes. Real-world flying, actually, moving, tracking, climbing, using features, gets you somewhere between 12 and 15 minutes depending on conditions. In heavier wind or continuous tracking mode, some users report as low as 12 minutes. In calmer conditions with shorter bursts, you can push closer to 15. That gap from the advertised figure is real, and if you go in expecting 19, the disappointment will be valid. Here's the context that matters though. The Neo 2 is not a drone you fly continuously for 19 minutes. You launch, grab 3 or 4 intentional shots, land, review, and relaunch. In that rhythm, which is honestly how you should be flying for best results anyway. 12 to 15 minutes is more than workable. That said, there is an aftermarket extended battery available on AliExpress that delivers close to 18 minutes of genuine flight time. I've done a full dedicated video on it. The link is in the description. Watch that before you buy anything third-party, because there are safety considerations you need to know about. Limitation number 2, the image quality ceiling is real at a professional level. For YouTube at normal viewing sizes, for social media, for phones and televisions, and compressed streaming platforms, the Neo 2 footage is genuinely impressive. Impressive enough that most viewers watching at home will not be able to distinguish it from footage shot on a much more expensive drone. But if you pixel peep, if you grade heavily in post, if you shoot for commercial clients who are reviewing footage on large calibrated monitors, you will feel the physics of the sensor size. There is also no D-Log-M or RAW support, which means color grading options in post are limited compared to higher-end DJI drones. It is a small drone built for casual creators. Physics and design priorities still apply. Know your use case before you buy. One more thing worth mentioning here. There is no MicroSD card slot on the Neo 2. You are working with 49 gigabytes of internal storage, which is enough for roughly an hour and 40 minutes of 4K/60 frames per second footage. But once it's full, you need to offload to a computer before you can keep shooting. For most casual outings, that's never a problem, but on a multi-day trip or a long shooting session, it's something to be aware of. Limitation number 3. There are setup details nobody told me. Here are a few practical things I had to learn the hard way, so you don't have to. First, update every single battery individually before your first flight. Not just the drone firmware. Each battery has its own firmware and needs updating the first time you use it. Skip this step, and the drone may not recognize the battery at all. Second, the digital link module is what unlocks the full experience of this drone. Without it, you're flying on Wi-Fi via your phone. That's fine for casual use, but if you want RC2 controller compatibility, extended range, or FPV goggles, the module is not optional. Factor that cost into your budget before you commit to buying, so you're not surprised later. Third, buy more batteries than you think you need, at least 2 extra. Not because the battery is bad, but because the Neo 2 is so enjoyable to fly that you will be angry at yourself every single time you run out of power and have nothing charged to replace it. Who should buy? This is the section I promised you at the beginning. The honest breakdown of exactly who this drone is for and who it is absolutely not for. Pay attention, because I'm going to save you from a purchase you'll regret. Buy the DJI Neo 2 if you're a hobbyist or lifestyle creator who wants to capture moments as they actually happen, spontaneously, effortlessly, without a whole production setup attached to every flight. If you've ever stood somewhere beautiful and thought, I wish I had aerial footage of this, and then talked yourself out of pulling out your bigger drone because it wasn't worth the effort, the Neo 2 solves exactly that problem. You're buying your first drone. The Neo 2 is forgiving in a way that more expensive drones are not. It's built to take some abuse while you learn. The intelligent flight modes handle a lot of the technical execution for you, so you can focus on composition and storytelling from day one. For a first drone, it's one of the best starting points on the market right now. You already own bigger, more capable drones, and you're looking for something that fills the gap they can't fill. Your Mini 5 Pro is equipment. You plan for it. You're intentional with it. You use it for serious work. The Neo 2 is the drone you grab for everything else. And everything else often ends up being the best footage you ever take, because life's best moments are rarely scheduled. Do not buy the DJI Neo 2 if you need the absolute best image quality that money can buy. If you're shooting for broadcast, for commercial clients with high standards, for anything where footage will be scrutinized on a large calibrated display, the Neo 2 is not your tool. Physics are physics. A sensor this size has a ceiling, and you will hit it in demanding production environments. You need gear that signals professionalism to clients. If you show up to a commercial shoot and pull a 151-gram pocket drone out of your jacket, some clients will not take you seriously, regardless of how good the footage actually is. If the perception of professional-grade equipment matters for your business, look elsewhere. You're primarily an FPV pilot, or you want manual control over every flight parameter. The Neo 2 is designed around automation and intelligent modes. It's excellent at what it does, but it's not a platform for manual freestyle pilots who want total control and precision on demand. The bottom line, the best drone is not the one with the best specs. It's the one you actually fly, and I reach for the Neo 2 more than any drone I own. Not because it's technically superior, but because it's always there, always ready, and always worth it. The final verdict. Remember that Tuesday evening I told you about at the start of this video? The one where I grabbed the Neo 2 instead of the Mini 5 Pro because the light was too good to waste on a setup checklist? That sunset footage is in 3 different videos now. 3 of my highest performing videos of the entire year. Shot with a drone that I almost never bought because I convinced myself it was beneath me. What I understand now that I didn't understand 3 months ago is this. Creativity doesn't wait for you to get your gear ready. Life's best moments don't hold still while you unfold your arms and wait for GPS lock. The Neo 2 doesn't just give you a drone. It gives you a fundamentally different relationship with your camera. One where the barrier between seeing something worth filming and actually filming it is essentially zero. So, should you buy it? If you want footage of your real life, the spontaneous moments, the unplanned adventures, the 45-second windows of perfect light that disappear before a big drone can take off, then yes, absolutely yes, with complete confidence. If you want the best image quality money can buy, or gear that looks impressive on a professional production set, this is not that. And I respect your time too much to tell you otherwise. But if you want the drone you'll actually fly every single day, in every situation, without thinking twice about it, then the Neo 2 wins. Every time. Final 60 seconds. Before you go, 2 things that I think will genuinely make your Neo 2 experience better if you've already bought one, or help you decide if you're still on the fence. First, I made a dedicated video called 10 Things You Must Do Before Your First Flight, specific settings to configure, firmware steps to complete, and rookie mistakes to avoid that will absolutely save you from learning things the hard way. Hundreds of people in the comments have told me it saved them real time and real frustration. Link is in the description. Second, drop in the comments right now. Are you Team Neo 2 or are you holding out for something else? And if you already own one, I want to know. What's the one moment you captured that you would have completely missed with a bigger drone? I read every comment on this channel, and those stories are always the best part of my week. If this video helped you, if it saved you from a purchase you'd regret, or pushed you toward one you'll love, the subscribe button is right there. I make these videos because I actually care about helping you spend your money wisely and film the things that matter to you. That's it. That's the whole mission. I'll see you in the next one.